HubSpot's quoting and proposal tools just got a huge upgrade, and I'm going to show you how to create brand new, beautiful proposals and quotes in HubSpot in today's HubSpot hack. All right, folks, before we get started, I should mention that you will need access to the new Commerce Hub, which does require a paid seat to use these new quoting and proposal tools, and that they are currently in beta at the moment. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, first things first is you're going to want to log into HubSpot, and then on your left-hand side, navigate down to Commerce, and then your quotes. So you'll see at the top right here, there are a couple of buttons. If you click here, you can see to customize your quote style or customize your quote templates. So first thing I'm going to do is walk you through the styling of your quote. So I click to customize my quote style, and this actually takes me to a theme editor for my quotes. And this will be reflected across all of your different quotes that you are creating inside of your HubSpot. So what you can change here is going to be some very high level stuff, not the specifics of what's seen in the quote, what it actually says, what images are there, more so the colors of the background, the actual page, what kind of fonts, what kind of font colors you are using. So you can see that over here on the left-hand side, where if I want to change my fonts for my headings and my body text, the colors, the line heights, the weights of the font, I can do all of that here in my style editor. I can even go ahead and make this background, you know how it's a light blue. Say I want to make this an orange. You probably don't want to do this, but this is where you can do it and where you can make changes to if you wanted to. This is also where in your theme styles, you can scroll down here, you can change the buttons, like what those colors look like, the shape of them, the borders and things like that here as well. So you probably want to make sure that these actually match your brand guidelines before you get too much into the weeds of customizing your quotes. All right, so you're happy with this style of your theme, and now you want to start customizing your quote template. So unlike the style, which is one that it goes for all your quotes, you can have a ton of different quote templates here in HubSpot. So I'm going to click the three buttons here and then customize our quote templates. And you can see that I've done a little bit of playing around here, designing a couple quote templates, but we're going to build a brand new one here from scratch. All right, so let's click create quote template. And here we are in our quote designer. So first thing we're going to do is give this a name. So we're going to call this our HubSpot Hacks quote template. And then let's start editing. So it comes with a couple pre-built sections that they're recommending that you don't have to use. So say right off the bat, it has a cover letter and executive summary above this section here with our logo and the details on the quote number, when it expires, and things like that. Say I don't want those visible, I can just click this eye icon over this section and hide them. If I want them back, it's just clicking to show the section. And then say I want to have our logo and quote details up at the top, I can just go into this designer here in the middle and drag it all the way up here to the top, and then it will reflect here on my left-hand navigation sidebar that now the header is at the top. I still have cover letter here if I wanted to have it. So in terms of editing each section, you can actually just click right into this quote builder here, which is really easy. So if I want to change this, like say we're more doing proposals than quotes, I can rename it directly here to quotes. And then if I want to change, quote reference number, I can just make it say reference number if I want to. I can enter it over here in this column or do it over here on the side as well. And then it will change here. And if you don't want all of these to show, like you don't always need the quote reference number or the issue date, or say you don't have expirations, you can just very easily uncheck all of these sections, and that will remove what you actually see here. It also will automatically pull your logo from your branding style. So if you want to overwrite that, you can click logo here, override it, and then you can upload it or use any images that you already have here in your system. All right, so let's do some more editing of our quote. Let's go down here into our executive summary. And then I have the options to completely customize this, add any text that I want to. So I asked ChatGPT to just write some generic text for a project overview. So let's rename this from executive summary to project overview and drag and drop my text in here. There we go. So you can see I actually asked it to leave in some placeholders here for where I would want to customize this for each customer. What's really awesome is that I can then come in here and remove this and even insert these personalization tokens. So the primary company associated to it, if I want to use their company name, it'll automatically dynamically insert it in here, and I could put in a fallback value. So say for whatever reason that's unknown how you want it to show. So we'll put signing company as our fallback. That's definitely not legal advice. And then I would want to do the same thing with any other personalization tokens on the for contacts, for companies or deals, anyone assigned or associated to this quote here. This is just a template. So say, for example, this is our generic text, but we do want to customize this for every quote that we send out. I'm going to show you how to do that. That's when you're actually creating the quote to send. You can then customize this further, remove things, add things, make red lines, changes if you want to. So we'll get to that a little bit later on in the video. You also see it's been asking me if I want to add any attachments to this section here. So I'm going to click to add an attachment, and this is just our test portal. So I'm just going to add whatever file that I have here. So now I have an attachment in here that they can access from, they can click to open directly from looking at this quote. And if I want this to appear when, say I'm using this for e-signatures, and I want this to appear so that they see it before they sign, if I just check off in signing, you see it actually highlights it here, when they go through the signing section of the proposal, it will appear there for them to see before they actually sign anything. All right, let's continue on. Say that we are missing a section and we want to add some more areas here. I can click this plus sign to add additional content to this quote template. So let's add it in here below the overview. It just comes blank called title. And this is would say, for example, I want to add some images to here. I can click to insert an image. Let me just grab the first one that I have here in my test portal. That's looking a little big, so I can very easily resize it if I want to, or center it in my screen, move it over here to the left. And you can even also, like say you want to put in a table for a timeline for the project, or whatever other use cases, you can click to insert here. You can embed call to actions, anything else you want, special characters, but I'm going to add it in a table. And then we'll say, say we want our dates, who's responsible for things, whatever we want to call our third column. And again, this table can be edited before sending as well, because these are probably not going to be the same for every single project that you're doing. Just wanted to show you other cool stuff that you could do with these quotes as you're building them out here now as a template, or later on when you actually do the editing. So let's continue on. So we have our seller details. This can only be edited during the quote creation. So obviously our information here for the seller, who you're sending it to as a company, as the buyer, and the contacts. Here we have a summary on it that you can choose to have or not, which basically shows the effective date, term length, if there's term length, discounts, and total contract value. So if there is no term length, say like you're just selling a product or a service or just using this for a proposal, it will not show if there's no term length. That's actually going to be what pulls from your line items here, the products you're selling on the quotes. So if that doesn't have any value when you're sending this out, it actually won't appear. So that actually takes us to the one we're probably going to spend the most time on here, which is our line items. So we cannot edit the line items here on this quote as of now. I've heard that eventually, so if I go back to this section here, you can see there's no I here to get this out, but I've heard that this might be able to be hideable soon, where you can just create a proposal without any line items attached. You'll also see when I'm editing, I cannot change which columns are shown here. I can rename them if I want to, but basically all of these columns are here and are only shown if the line items that you're including have values there. So say I'm selling something and I don't have any discounts included in the products that I'm selling, then unit discount will not show in the quote that I send out to them. But you can actually add a product here in the template. And what that means is every single time that someone uses this template, it will have these products there. So this is a great way to standardize and making sure that no products are missed that need to be added. So for example, onboarding or service fees or anything along those lines. So we're going to go to our product library. Let's add in widgets. Will be on every single quote that we send out. And you can actually see that here as well. When we get down into terms, again, this is a good area where you might want to do attachments or anything like that. I asked ChatGPT to write me some fake terms and conditions that I'm going to add in. And again, these are probably just going to be our templates. So what we send to all of our customers, we can add personalization tokens in here again, like I showed a little bit earlier. And then these will be editable if there are custom terms that you need to agree on with the client at the time of the quote creation. So there's a full text editor up here. So if you want to make things bold, change the colors or anything like that, you are more than free to do so. I just don't want to make this video 3 hours long, so I'm not playing around with it too much. Next, we're going to talk about payments and acceptance. So payments is if you're going to be using this proposal to actually accept credit cards or ACH transfers from here, and acceptance is used for e-sign. So when I go to my sections here, I actually cannot choose whether or not to show these. These are more so when the quote's created. If you have billing active on it, obviously it's going to show. If you don't have e-sign on, obviously e-sign won't show, and vice versa. So when I click into my payment section, I can choose whether or not I want to enable billing, automatic or manual payments, which is coming soon, what kind of payments I want to accept, if I want any fees applied at checkout for credit cards, things like that. Same thing for acceptance here. I can choose whether I want it to be e-signature or if I want to add an old school print and sign. Highly recommend the e-signature since we're living in the 21st century, in case you didn't know. And then also if you want to make sure that countersigners are included on your end of anyone who might need to sign, you can come in here and you can make sure that anytime this goes on, the person needs to sign it. So you can edit the sections of what the payments say, what the payment terms say here. Same things for acceptance. If you want to rename this to e-sign, like the e-signature section, you can play around with how this looks. And then we'll talk a little bit more about this verify email area here. So this whole time I've been building it to see how it looks on a desktop. You can also change to see how it looks on mobile if you want to make sure that it looks nice in both areas. And then give it one more look over. Make sure it looks and feels exactly how you want it to. Hopefully a little bit better than this dummy test one that I've been showing you here. And then when you're ready to fire it out for your sales or your quotes or your legal team to start using, just go ahead and click publish. All right, before I go and show you how to actually use that quote now when you're trying to win one of the deals that you're working, we're going to go back to our quote settings and setup here. So you can decide what activity levels you want to track. So how often people are engaging with your quote to be considered high activity or low activity. There's a couple legacy options here that aren't going to be relevant for us anymore. But set your default expiration dates, the default quote values here if you want quote amount or total contract value, and if you want to download any quotes that you guys have created. If you scroll up here to your e-signature options, you can also choose whether you want to turn on identity verification on or off. So this means when they're going through the signing process, your recipient email verification on would mean that they have to receive an email first to verify it's them, to make sure no one is signing it for them. Leaving it off would allow them to just sign it directly from the quote. And then when we go to our approval section here, we can choose whether we want no approvals. No one on our team needs to approve this quote before it can actually be sent out. If we want standard approvals, so you can say anyone, right now it's set up to this All Access Non-Super Admin or Camille on our team to be approvers. Any one of them can approve it. If I do edit settings, you can also make it all. So if you want multiple people to have to approve a quote or proposal before it goes out, you can choose that. And then if you are on enterprise option, you can also do advanced approvals. So this actually brings you into a workflow editor. It's going to that's going to be a whole nother video for a whole nother day to talk about advanced approvals. So when your sales team is ready to actually create a quote, there's two different ways they can do it. The first is on the left, go to commerce and then go to quotes and click to create a quote on the top right. So from here, they'll get an option to search for deals. Quotes have to be associated to deals. So one for our Pawnee Parks Department, and then just choose the quote template that you want to use. Or from the deal that you're working on the right-hand side, if you don't see it, if there's a settings issue you need to change, but you can click to build a quote directly from here as well. So let's create this quote. And you'll see it's the proposal template exactly as I created it. But as a sales rep here, if I want to come in here and I want to edit a whole section, before sending, I can do so. Say I want to hide a section, like take out this image. I want to remove a column here on this table. Delete that column. I want to add in other pictures or customize it for the company. Anything that I need to do, they can customize it as they're building it out. So, and then in our line items, you can see we have our widgets here. This is our default line item. Say we're also going to sell this with widget insurance. So now we have our widgets and our widget insurance And if I wanted to edit this a little further in the expanded view, so I can add a discount here. So if I go back to my quote, you'll see discounts is not one of my line item columns now. When I edit it in this expanded view, say for my widget insurance, I'm offering it 50% off. I can click save. Now we see unit discounts here, 50% off here on my widget insurance. Say I want to remove these product descriptions to make it look a little bit sleeker, less text, I can do so. And you can see this summary area automatically updating here as I'm building here and building out my line items. So I do have payments on by default for this. If we want to use it for payments, let's disable billing then. So customers must agree to the following payment terms, due on receipt. If I'm just going to use this for e-sign, it is saying I don't have a contact. So let me go ahead and add one to the deal. Let's add Ron Swanson, since this is the Pawnees Park Department, and save it and say that he's the person who needs to sign. So let's take one more look over our quote. We're going to request approval. See if there's any notes here. Request that approval. If you don't have approvals on, this will just say to create the quote. So I'm going to go disable that so I can actually show you what it looks like. All right, I've turned off my approval requirements. So I'm back in my quote editor here. So it says does not request approval anymore. It just says to go ahead and share. Might say publish for you. Share because I pulled it out. And then I get this pop up where I can email it to them, send a quote as an email. I can copy a link, download it as a PDF to send them if I want to. So if I just copy that link, paste it into my browser here, you can see what that proposal will look like on their end. You can scroll through. You can go to verify to sign as Ron, or in the countersigner can sign as well. All right, folks, that does it for creating our quote/proposal templates inside of HubSpot. Down in the description of the video, there's going to be a link to sign up for our HubSpot Hacks newsletter to get all the latest and greatest HubSpot stuff directly to your inbox every single week. Remember to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and happy HubSpotting.